Welcome, guys, to the weekly live chat. This is live chat number 60. I mean, that is insane. 60 times we have done these Wednesday streams, I believe, because I don't remember how I started numbering them when I first started doing them. It is June 8th, 2022. We're halfway through 2022. I remember at the beginning of the year when we were talking about how basically, there was no fights for 3 weeks in the beginning of the year, what we were going to do, and now we're almost to International Fight Week. We currently have 3,493 subscribers. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, as always, make sure to like the stream. That helps push the stream out to more people. It is UFC 275 Fight Week this Saturday. Glover Teixeira defends his light heavyweight title against Jiri Procházka. Co-main event, Valentina Shevchenko versus Talia Santos. Featured fight on the main card, Wei Li Zhang versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk 2. We got a lot of fun fights. Coming up. I know UFC 275 isn't like blowing it out of the water. It isn't the craziest card I've ever seen. And you guys know I'm always honest with you. I'm not going to take up for a shit card when there's a shit card. But I am excited for 275. So we're going to talk about UFC 275 predictions. We're going to talk about a potential matchup between Aljamain Sterling and T.J DIllashaw. And obviously, we're going to talk about, anything you guys want to talk about. If you have any questions, put them in the chat as always. If you want to support the channel, you can become a member of the channel. Join the members only Discord. We message in there every single day about all the latest MMA news. And Saturday night, we will be messaging live during UFC 275 as the fights are going on. So if you want to support the channel, there's a bunch of other benefits too. Badges next to your name, custom emojis. The link is down in the description. It is $3. You can cancel at any time. Also, it seems like lately they've been selling more. I have t-shirts for the MMA Joey channel. You can buy a t-shirt. The link is down in the description as well. I'm not making like any money off of them, but it's just a way to support the channel and a way to just show your support for the channel, really. So if you want to buy one of those shirts, they're in the description as well. Okay, let's look at some of the comments in here so far. Good day, Joey. Did you happen to catch meetings on Facebook or YouTube about the Media Day 275? No, I did not. I did not see too much of that. What's going on, French Fries? What's up, Alex? What's up, John Rod? Hey, man, if Vera versus Cruz signed officially, would it be a 3-rounder or 5-rounder? I've heard it's a fight night in San Diego, possibly. Yeah, there's been talk of San Diego. There's been talk of Boston. If it is the main event, it will be a 5-round fight, which, I mean, I don't see how they can sign Dominic Cruz versus Marlon Chito Vera and not be a main event, honestly. What's up, Caleb? Hope you're doing well. What's good, bro? I hope you're doing well as well. What's up, Joey? What's up, Blaze? What's up, Blaze One Sports? For some reason, I almost called you Blaze Up Sports because I was reading What's Up as I was reading that. But hope you're doing well. By the way, guys, if you have not checked out my full breakdown and prediction videos for the top 3 fights on UFC 275, go check those out after this stream. I would greatly appreciate it. Thoughts on Tatiana Suarez wanting to return this year? Is she actually going to return? We've heard this a million times. She's just super injury prone. It sucks, but until she fights, I have a hard time believing it. She's been supposed to fight forever at this point in time. Is there a press conference tomorrow? I don't know. If there is, it's going to be a weird timing. So I have no idea. If it's a weird timing, I mean, it's not going to be an interesting press conference. I'm not going to stream the press conference. I'm definitely going to be streaming Friday night. We're going to have a long stream Friday night, just the day before the fights. We did it before UFC 274. We might make it a staple. I haven't decided yet, but Friday night we will be streaming. So make sure you come back on Friday as well. As Saturday too. Immediately following the fights on Saturday, we'll be having a post fight. Would you like a Gaethje versus winner of RDA Fiziev? If so, who would you take? Those are tough matchups. I wouldn't mind that. I think there's a lot of other options, though. Gaethje versus Dustin would be a lot of fun. Gaethje versus Beneil would be fun. But Gaethje versus RDA, Gaethje versus Fiziev. Whew. I'd probably take RDA to out-grapple him at this point. Fiziev would be 50-50. What's good, Joey? What's up, Leo? Hope you're doing well. Does Talia Santos' record impress you? Absolutely not. I mean, she hasn't really beaten anyone. What's up, Joey? What's up, Patty? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming to the stream, as always. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Talia Santos is the perfect example of records don't matter. Yeah, because if you're in a thin division, you can get a title shot. I mean, the last girl she lost to then went on a 4-fight losing streak and was cut by the UFC. It's just insane. But Talia Santos, I said it in my video. I think she's better than Lauren Murphy. I think she's better than some of these other challengers against Valentina. I think she has the best chance, even though it's still a very small chance. She's powerful. She's powerful. Why does Paulo Costa and Colby Covington always fight like once a year? Don't know. Don't know. It's annoying, but that just seems to... Colby's always kind of been like that. You know, never been super active. I might be mistaken. Someone's going to say, oh, well, 4 years ago he fought 3 times. But it just seems like, you know, he's never been super active. And it's always demanding a title shot, even if he doesn't deserve one. He's turning down certain fights, stuff like that. It's annoying. Everyday streams, 100. Yeah, we're probably not going to be streaming tomorrow, but Friday and Saturday we will be streaming. Friday I'll probably title it like UFC 275 pre-fight stream. Jiri Procházka, Glover Teixeira. And Saturday will obviously be the post-fight. Is there a weight division you think the UFC could add? Possibly 165? I don't want to see more divisions. You know, I'm hesitant to change. I hate change. So I don't want to see more divisions. But I guess they could. They have enough people there to fill it out for sure. Would you rather have a champ that fights 3 times a year with the most boring fights, or a champ that fights once a year with really exciting fights? I guess a champ that fights once a year. I want an active champion, though. So I want a champion that fights 3 times a year and has a mildly interesting fights. That's what I would like. You look great, Joey. Did you get a haircut? Yes, I did. Thank you. Appreciate it. Jamal Hill as a future champ. I think it's possible. Great stream. Keep it up. Thank you, GG Hezzy. Appreciate you, my friend. We do these streams all the time. It's the first time I've seen your name in here, unless you changed your name from somebody else. So appreciate the kind words. Speaking of inactive guys, I really want to see Arnold Allen fight again. I know that guy seems like he never wants to fight. Let's take a look. Arnold Allen. So he fought Dan Hooker at UFC London. When's the last time he fought before that? He fought almost a year before that. Before that, he fought over a year. Before that was like 6 months. Before that was a couple months. And then before that was roughly a little less than a year. So he's been consistently fighting like once or twice a year forever, basically. Since he's been in the UFC, he fought once in 2015, once in 2016, once in 2017, so he fights once a year. And he fought twice in... No, wait a second. He fought twice in 2019. That's it. Arnold Allen's only ever fought twice in a year in the UFC, and he's been in the UFC for a long while. He's been in the UFC since 2015. So in 7 years, he's only fought twice in 1 year once. That's unreal. That is unreal. Is Cruz your bantamweight GOAT? Yes, I believe so. I think Paulo Costa didn't fully recover from the Adesanya loss. He was undefeated before that. So in his head, he was invincible. That could be the case. Could have been tentative to return. Plus, he was brutally finished as well. More divisions would be cool, but the start would be messy. Yeah, I'm not in favor of a lot of change, to be quite honest. I never have been. Who would win? Perez versus Royval and Perez versus Kopp? Jeez Louise, man. Asking the real questions here. Perez versus Royval. I'll take Royval. I just think the guy's just so... I don't even know what the word for it is. So gritty. I mean, the guy is so scrambly. The guy's nonstop. Has good stamina. Has good power. So I'll take Royval versus Perez. Perez versus Kopp. That's a tough fight. I'll probably take Perez. Perez is highly underrated, though. He's very, very good. Could you have made an argument that Holloway beat Dustin? I don't believe so, but I haven't seen the fight in a long time. But I think Dustin clearly won. He clearly did more damage, and I thought it was clear as day. From my recollection, it was clear as day. He said once a year is going well for him, so I don't expect his activity to pick up. So I want to see him fight in the top 5. That's crazy. I think guys should at least be aiming to fight twice a year. Many weight classes is what ruined boxing. Why do we need more? I don't know. I'm hesitant about it. Did you pay to watch Floyd Conor fight? If so, what did you think of it? Not only did I not pay to watch Floyd Conor, I did not watch Floyd Conor. I saw the highlights afterwards. I obviously saw the finish. It was a freak show. It was a freak show, and it was a money grab. Meanwhile, they were holding belts hostages within the UFC. And, I've talked about it before. And we talked about it a little bit last week, and this is a weird comparison. And I've said, I was talking about Big John McCarthy making ridiculous comments, and I almost don't want to talk about it because talking about it is supporting it regardless of, whether or not... No sound. Okay, I don't know what happened there. Talking about it is supporting it regardless if you like it or not. And so also, the best way to show your support for something is to buy it or watch it. And, I said before that, when Skip Bayless, the Skip Bayless effect, that's what I'm getting to the Big John McCarthy, is kind of taking the Skip Bayless route, saying ridiculous things in hopes of getting headlines. Then he gets the people that buy into what he say, and then, he gets the people that are like, is this guy crazy? And so I refuse to even think about Floyd Conor. I refuse to even talk about Floyd Conor. Not that anybody, I wasn't talking to anyone about Floyd Conor anyway, because I don't really know that many people that watch MMA. But like my one or two buddies who watched MMA at the time, I wasn't talking about it at all. And I thought it was a freak show. I thought it was dumb that we had a guy who was considered, the best 155er on the planet going off to fight a 40-something-year-old who was retired in boxing, and it's two totally different sports. And I knew Floyd Mayweather was going to spank him, which he did. And I knew going in, and I wish I had a YouTube channel because it would have been so funny to look back on this now. I knew going into the fight, it was a win-win for Conor. As long as he didn't get brutally KO'd in the first round, they were going to say, yeah, he went, what was it, 9 rounds? I don't even know, 8 rounds? He went 8 or 9 rounds with the greatest boxer of all time, and he held his own. And by some fluky chance he won, which I thought was next to zero, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So no, I did not watch it. I did not pay for it. I did not talk about it. If I would have had a YouTube channel then, I would have refused to talk about it. Similar to what I do about Thou Who Shall Not Be Named right now, because I just don't want to show any support for it. I don't want to give it any publicity, even if I'm just making a small impact. People talk all the time, as far as glitter goes. This is a weird comparison, but I can't make a difference, But if everyone thinks that, then what's going to happen, There's people throwing litter out the windows, which drives me nuts. I can't stand people that do it. If you litter, unsubscribe to the channel or stop doing it. It's one of those things where maybe I don't make a difference, but if there's hundreds of thousands of people thinking, oh, well, I don't make a difference anyway, and if they all did what they wanted to do, they would actually make a difference. I hope that makes sense. I don't know if it did because it kind of sounded a little weird coming out. Big Joey in the house. What's up, my dude? What is going on, my friend? I hope you were doing well. Is Edmund Shabazian done and is Heinisch done? I think they are. Shabazian has a fight against somebody coming up. I don't remember. Somebody remind me in the chat. I'm betting Valentina and Glover. Valentina win and Glover by sub. I think that's a safe bet. Not a safe bet, but I think that's a reasonable bet to have. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens soon enough. What's going on, everyone? Making some tacos, enjoying the stream. Hamzat emoji. Hope everyone is having a chill evening. Besides you, I hope those tacos taste delicious for you. Joey, what's a hot take that you have that a lot of people disagree with? Oh, God, don't get me started, Derek. Don't get me started. All right, before I even get into my hot take, because I have a go-to anytime somebody asks me this question. If you've been a subscriber to the channel, which hot take, and I don't even consider, I guess it's a hot take, but which hot take am I going to talk about right now? If you've been watching the channel for a while, take a guess. and I'll get back to it in a minute. What's your opinion on Jonathan Martinez? Just beat Vince Morales at the Holly Holm Vieira card. I think he looks very promising. You know, I'm interested to see what he can do. I think he's a solid fighter. I think he has a decent skill set. But still, it's a little bit early. I still have not seen Floyd fans. I still have not seen the Floyd fan Connor. Still not seen the Floyd. Okay. If you had to sit down and watch one of these, what would you watch? Usman Canelo or Tyson Francis? Tyson Francis. But both of them would be slaughters, in my opinion. Mavsar versus Bryce prediction. I'd probably go Bryce, but that's 50-50. I think that's a very close fight. Both are excellent grapplers. Who's the better striker? Ah, man. Mavsar looked incredibly improved recently in the striking. So maybe I'd go with him. I don't know. Do you think Zhang versus Joanna will be a high-paced fight again? I think it will be good, but I don't think... I do not think that it will live up to the hype of the first fight. Hey, Joey, do you watch MMA fighting on YouTube? They do like a story timeline. No. I think I've seen what you're talking about before, but no. 100%. That's a vibe. There you go. Mayweather carried Conor for 8 rounds just to hide up the money grab. Oh, I know. I don't even think he trained for that. I honestly don't believe he did. From the little bit that I saw. Did you hear what Jorge said about Herb Dean? Yes, I did. That he does not like Herb. Sean O'Malley won the Cheeto fight is your hot take. I don't think that's a hot take. That's an honest take. I mean, I feel like only the Sean O'Malley cultists don't believe that. What's next for Cater if he wins? Potentially a title shot. I could see a title shot in his future, depending on what happens with Max and Volk. Sean O'Malley, this is not a hot take. Sean O'Malley getting his legs brutally chopped, then flash KO'd and stretchered out of the cage with no serious injury is not a hot take. Okay, I've been watching the channel consistently for 2 months now, but I think a solid hot take is that Cejudo's way overrated. Early stoppage versus TJ, barely beat DJ, win versus old Cruz, and a short notice Cruz as well. And an inactive Cruz as well. So, yeah. Yep, that is a good one. Okay. Since nobody apparently can guess it, and this is gonna piss some of you guys off for sure. Let me just pull it up, because now I have to go into my whole spiel. Thank you, Derek, for bringing this one up. And some of you guys are about to get really butthurt right now. Maybe not all of you, but definitely some of you. I know some of you guys are huge fans of this guy. Okay, my hot take, and I genuinely believe this, and it's not revisionist history. I believe this as it was going on live. I believe that Conor McGregor's run was not all that good. A lot of his success had to do with just perfect timing, and I think a lot of his wins aren't that great. So if you look at his career, okay, and I know people are going to bring up Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier, and basically the hot take summed up is Conor McGregor was never that great, and that his career isn't like some illustrious career that some people make it out to be. So I know people are going to bring up Dustin and Max Holloway. Those wins were in 2013. Those fighters were nowhere near their prime at that point in time. Okay? So those don't count. He got babied to a title shot. Conor McGregor got babied into a title shot. He fought Dennis Seaver to get a featherweight title shot. At the time that he fought Dennis Seaver, let's see where Dennis Seaver was at. And keep in mind, Dennis Seaver retired after this. He had won 1 out of his last 3. He had won 1 out of his last 3. And then after that, he lost 1 more, then got a win, and then left MMA in general. So he fought Dennis Seaver to get a title shot, which is just unreal. Then he was supposed to fight Jose Aldo, okay? Whew. Then he was supposed to fight Jose Aldo at UFC 189 in July, okay? Jose Aldo hurt his ribs. And for those of you who were not around at this time or not paying close attention to this, the UFC tried to strong-arm Jose Aldo into staying in the fight with hurt ribs. Dana White said, oh, no, he's fighting. And he had basically broke his ribs or dislocated his ribs. So finally, Jose Aldo said, no, I'm not fighting. and they took him out of the fight. They called Chad Mendes, who had just fought Jose Aldo, who was out hunting, filming a TV show, who had not been training at all, was out of shape. They called him in. They said, look, we're going to make an interim title fight. He fought Chad Mendes, a Chad Mendes that was not prepared at all. And Chad Mendes brutalized him in the first round. Chad Mendes got clipped to the body quite a bit. And on top of that, the fact that he was not training, he gassed out. Conor finished him. Chad was even winning the first half of the second round too. But he was just too tired because he didn't have a training camp. For those of you who think, oh, this is just an excuse, the dude literally came in on 1 week's notice. The guy had fought 5 hard rounds with Jose Aldo in a very close fight. And now he's gassing out in a fight he's winning against Conor in 1 round, 1.5 rounds. So he beats Chad Mendes. Fair enough, but still not that great. Then he gets his fight against Jose Aldo at UFC 194. They both throw one punch. They both clip each other. Jose Aldo cuts open Conor McGregor's eyebrow, and Conor McGregor brutally sleeps Jose Aldo. So while that was a great win, we didn't get to see the fight play out all that much. I believe, I'm not saying it's a fluke because Conor trained that punch and he landed it and he had good timing and good power. I don't believe that, you run that fight 10 times that happens. I think Jose Aldo wins 7 out of 10 times, in my opinion, okay? But still, he knocked out Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo's an all-time great. Jose Aldo should have got a rematch. Okay, they immediately say, you know what? Conor just won the featherweight belt. We're gonna let him move up and fight RDA, which I was so excited when he was moving up to fight RDA. And the reason for that is because the media, the cult-like following, was just gobbling Conor up. Oh, he's so godly and this and that. And some of the media was even acting as if there was some kind of, I don't even know what the word for it is, some kind of otherworldly magic with Conor. They were like, Conor's so special and magical and blah, blah, blah. And he's supposed to fight RDA. I'm like, RDA is going to wreck this guy. He's going to out-grapple him. He's going to wreck him, which may or may not have happened. I'm not saying it would or wouldn't have happened. RDA falls out with an injury. They say, okay, we're going to give him Nate Diaz. There was a couple options at the time, but Nate Diaz steps in. On 1 or 2 weeks' notice, I knew that there was a couple options at the time, and I believe that Nate Diaz was the one they thought was most winnable for Conor on short notice. And I picked Nate Diaz to win this fight. I knew Nate Diaz was a nightmare matchup. Nate Diaz, even though he wasn't in a full-time training camp, I knew he was probably going to be in shape, at least, better shape. Nate Diaz out of shape is better than a lot of guys in shape. And Nate Diaz goes out there, weathers the early storm, has a granite chin, and then finishes Conor in the second round. They give Conor a rematch against Nate. I believe Nate beat him in the second fight. And Conor got the decision, but it was a close fight. But the thing is, and I love Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is a journeyman at best. A journeyman at best. Then he goes on to fight Eddie Alvarez. And he absolutely puts on a masterclass against Eddie Alvarez. I can take nothing away from him on this one. There's nothing I can say about this performance that makes it any less spectacular. It was a solid performance. Eddie Alvarez did not show up that night, and Conor McGregor beat the brakes off of him. Then he sits out for 2 years. He comes back. He gets mauled by Khabib Nurmagomedov. And people say, oh, well, Conor won in the third round on judges' scorecards. Khabib was standing flat-footed in front of him, toying with him. So even if Conor did win that round, it's because Khabib let him. Because Khabib was just standing flat-footed in front of him, just toying with him. And if you would have told me going into that fight, Khabib was going to stand flat-footed in front of him, with his hands down, I would have said Khabib gets KO'd. But Khabib went out there, took him down, controlled him in the first round. Took him down, almost stopped him in the second round. Toyed with him in the third. And then finally in the fourth, he finishes him. Dominant performance by Khabib Nurmagomedov. Then, Conor McGregor comes back another 2 years later. And they say, you want to fight Justin Gaethje or you want to fight Donald Cowboy Cerrone, who's been brutally KO'd in his last 3 fights? And Conor says, you know what? I'll take Donald Cowboy Cerrone, who's on the way out. He goes out there, he finishes Cowboy Cerrone in the first round, which he was supposed to finish Cowboy Cerrone in the first round. And people act like the guy invented shoulder strikes. They act like he invented shoulder strikes because he landed some shoulder strikes on Cowboy Cerrone. Then he finally gets the rematch with Dustin Poirier, the guy he KO'd far from his prime back in like 2013 when he KO'd Dustin Poirier, 2014. Now he's fighting someone, Dustin Poirier, he's in his prime. And I actually thought that Dustin Poirier was going to go out there, be prideful, and fight Conor's fight. And I thought Dustin was going to lose this fight. And that would have been a solid win for Conor. Nope. Dustin goes out there, mixes up his game very well, doesn't try to fight prideful and stand. You mixes in the grappling, KOs Conor. Conor's limping around like he has a broken leg afterwards. He basically blames it on the calf kicks afterwards. Everyone said, oh, it's the calf kicks that did him in. It was the calf kicks that did him in. So they run it back. Dustin Poirier 10-8s him, and then Conor breaks his leg at the end of the round. And people use that as an excuse. Well, Dustin didn't really win. It was a fluke. It was a fluke leg break. Like legs just break like that. It's just bullshit. Absolute bullshit. And now the guy's just doing nothing but sitting. And in between these long periods of time where he sat out, the dude is just constantly trying to steal other people's shine. He posted screenshots of him messaging Dana White, begging to fight Diego Sanchez. Let that sink in. Conor McGregor was begging to fight Diego Sanchez. The guy is a very fun fighter. He's one of my top 5 favorite fighters to watch fight. I love his style. I love his pressure. He makes fights exciting. But this, I only take the toughest matchups and I'll fight anyone. Him and the UFC are very selective in who he's fighting. And I think he'll come back and they'll try to give him the most winnable fight that he can possibly get. And I believe that Conor McGregor's career, while he elevated the sport, he made the sport a lot of fun. I mean, what is his solid? He has 2 great wins. Eddie Alvarez and Jose Aldo. I dare you to name another great win. 2 great wins. That is it. Never defended a belt, and people still act like he's some kind of god. And, some of you guys may disagree with that, and that's fine. We're here to have a discussion. But that's my hot take, even though now I rambled for 10 minutes on you. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying, because I have not been reading the messages. As always, do not forget to like the stream, guys. Run up the likes on the stream. I would greatly appreciate it if you like the stream. And make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. Okay, here we go. And out of every one of those fights, who do you see getting the next title shot after Max? I would probably see Cater Emmett win. Okay, looks like Michael K. Goodbye, my friend. Goodbye from the channel. Coming into the stream and saying, "Oh, go watch somebody else. This guy's boring." Well, now you can no longer interact with the channel. You are blocked. Same, to be honest. Conor's run was hella saturated. Conor and Dustin were so young then. This hot take has me triggered. But we can still have fun discussion. You don't have to agree with me. That's the great thing. I'm not insisting that I'm right. It's just my take. Herb Dean versus Big John. Who wins? Herb Dean. I don't know. Tell him, Joey. Joey, are you sure about the quote saying there's no way that Joanna and Zhang 2 fight is better than the first or even close? I just don't think it can live up to the hype. I agree. Conor was given an easy route. Definitely. I could see UFC Abu Dhabi looking like Charles Islam, Hamza Bilal, and Chandler versus Dariush. And it looks like they're trying to do Dustin in August. That'd be great. That'd be spectacular. To be fair, though, a lot of title shots are coming off barely anything. For instance, like Islam's run, he's going to be getting a title shot. Or like Cannonier, T.J. Dillashaw. Yeah, but that's only some. Look at Aljamain Sterling's run before he got the first title shot. Look at Max Holloway's run. Look at Robert Whittaker's run before fighting Adesanya again. Look at Adesanya's run to Whittaker. I would say there's more instances where people have earned it than not, but there is a fair amount of examples. Fair enough. Conor's probably the most and best promotional offspring of any sport. Don't really know how to word it, but the job the UFC did with Conor is incredible. Fair enough. I will say this, though. If they never did the tour press conference of Aldo Conor, the fight would have been a lot different. Jose went into the fight scared. I don't know if he went into the fight scared, but he definitely fought with anger. He definitely fought with some anger. Let's see. And that ended up costing him. Full camp chat and Jose, if he didn't get the KO, both guys beat the living shit out of Conor. There you go. Conor promised Jose an immediate rematch, then ran away. Yeah, it wasn't... It was one of those things where, you know, okay, maybe you look like a hater about the Jose Aldo thing, but I think they do. I really do. And I think they should have ran it back. Could Champ Conor move up to welterweight to beat Woodley and secure 3 titles at once? No. No. I agree about Jose versus Conor. If Conor had to fight his way to about a featherweight instead of pushed, he would have been massacred. I don't know if that's the case. That's not something I'm claiming, but might very well be. Never forget he was calling for a Diego Sanchez fight. There you go. There you go. Maybe Conor isn't the best mixed martial artist, but dang, if you're going to fight, you better show up at your best that night. He thrives under that pressure. That is true. That is very true. And I'm not even trying to be a Conor hater. This is my honest opinion on it. I actually love watching Conor fight. Conor got Paulo Costa syndrome after Khabib fight. Thoughts on Terrence McKinney? One of my favorite prospects up and coming. He looked very good against Drew Dober. If he would have conserved his energy, I think he wins that fight. Sean O'Malley's getting the same treatment. Yeah. Conor had a great win versus Holloway. I only say that because Conor wasn't in his prime. That was second fight. Yeah, Holloway wasn't in his prime either, though. Holloway was far from his prime, too. But I get what you're saying. I'm fine with Justin versus Dustin, too. But damn, can we get a new matchup? I'm sick of constant rematches. Yeah. I get what you're saying, man. I get what you're saying. But I do like the matchup. But I wouldn't mind Dustin Chandler. But also, Dustin Justin 2 isn't official by any means. Just some random MMA websites are throwing shit at the wall. I can't wait to see the people who watch this stream back and comment on it complaining about my Conor take now. I want to see Hamzat versus Colby. Me too. I really want to see Hamzat versus Colby as well. Joey, I'm here. I really think Talia Santos is going to shock the world. Do you really believe that? Or... are you just being optimistic because you have a bet on her? Let me know. Joey, Nick Diaz's return is set to take place in the end of the year, and they're aiming for a welterweight fight. Nick, who do you want to see him fighting? I want to see him fighting nobody. Nick Diaz should not be in the cage fighting anyone. He quit versus Robbie Lawler. He looked awful versus Robbie Lawler. He showed up and changed the weight class the week of. I don't want to see Nick Diaz fight anyone. And this is coming from a Nick Diaz fan. What's up, Jordan? Am I a Jose fanboy? But I will have him as a UFC GOAT if he gets a belt at 135. I think for sure. GOAT when he called for Sanchez fight. I mean, come on, that is criminal. Yeah, Dana White said to him, "I shouldn't even be sanctioned for that. I should have my promoter's license taken." Who do you think is the funniest fighter? Mine's got to be Costa. Probably Costa. What channel can we chat the most on Discord? There's a tab just called Random. You can put whatever you want in Random. There you go. Whatever you want to put in there. But there's a bunch of different channels, man. We're not particularly, but Random is probably the most used one. If that's what you're asking. Could you actually make an argument that DC is the GOAT? Of light heavyweight, you could make that argument. Because you take away, if you exclude Jones because of the PED violations, then yes. What is going on here? Hold on one second, guys. Let's see. All right, guys, keep filling the chat with questions. Also, if you guys want to become a member of the channel and join our members-only Discord, like Sammy's talking about, by the way, Sammy, thank you for being a member. The link is down in the description. It is $3 a month. You get a bunch of extra benefits, and I will also post a link in the chat. Become a member right there. Boom. Boom. Become a member right there. Yeah, I figured Justin G, Dustin P wasn't official. It is not. Yeah, Nick Diaz and Nate Diaz shouldn't even be allowed to fight. I think Nate should be able to. Nick, no. But if Nick is going to fight and we can't stop him, who should he fight? Who should he fight? Oh, man. Somebody that's not good. I really can't think of anybody. He needs to go fight in Eagle FC against Diego Sanchez. CTE is a thing. Do you remember everyone just letting Nick change weight class the week of the fight but slander Paul Costa? Yes, and I think I even have a video about that where I talked about it in the live stream. 60-40, I try to never underestimate a fighter in a title fight. It's a big one. Go big or go home. Fair enough. Dana White should have his promotions license taken away after making Donald Cerrone versus Khan. That's a fight that shouldn't have been made either. Who is a fighter that can still win against someone that is 2-0 on them? Who is a fighter that can... Max Holloway? There you go. Favorite MMA fighter gone commentator? I'll say Paul Felder. Long time no see, bud. What's up, my friend? Who has the best chance to take the light heavyweight belt? Best chance in light heavyweight to beat Francis? I don't know. John Jones? Does John Jones count? Does Johnny Bones Jones count? I don't know if he counts or not. If Johnny Bones Jones doesn't count, I'll say Rockage. I would love to see Tony Ferguson versus Matt Brown at 170. That's a fine matchup as well. I'm not scared to say I dislike Conor more than Colby or Sean Strickland. Just can't stand the guy that would talk so much crap and is reaching so far about random stuff and isn't even winning. And half the time isn't even fighting and he's talking too much. Will Tony fight into his 40s? Probably. Joey, how do you feel about Allen versus Evloev? And how do you see that fight playing out since we got 3 amazing featherweight fights? Wouldn't mind seeing which featherweight are you most excited for? Allen versus Evloev, I see maybe Allen outstriking him, but I had to dig more into that fight, but that's a 50-50 fight. What other featherweights am I most excited for? Ilia Topuria. Kevin Holland versus Diaz. Quickly get him out of there. I wouldn't mind. Go ahead, sign me up. Nick Diaz versus Maia. That makes a lot of sense. Nick Diaz versus Matt Brown. Okay, that's fair. That would be fine. New championship matchups like Jiri versus Glover are more intriguing than rematches. Sometimes, not all the time. Who should Conor have fought instead of Cowboy? Justin Gaethje was available at the time, and those were the 2 options. I like Dom as a commentator. Me too. What's the fight you're most interested in at 275? Definitely the main event. Jiri Procházka, Glover Teixeira. That's the fight that I'm most looking forward to. Should be a phenomenal fight, for real. Should be an amazing fight. Let me see what is going on here. Where does Joanna go with another loss? I don't know. I think Joanna, just because she's a former champion and she is a good fighter, she's never more than 2 fights away from a title shot. So I would have liked to have seen her versus Marina Rodriguez. So maybe she probably just goes fight someone in the top 5 and gets another shot afterwards. Would you ever get an MMA fighter on this channel to do an interview? I am very, very soon, man. We were talking about it the other day. I thought you were in here. We're doing it next week probably, or this week maybe even. Is Costa Rockhold really confirmed for 20th of August? Costa really seems to challenge other fighters and never confirmed the fight himself. Yes, as far as I understand, it is confirmed. It is confirmed. It was supposed to be at 277. I don't understand the UFC rankings. It's not really about record. It's definitely not about skill. It's random guys throwing shit at the wall is what it is. If they make Ferguson versus Matt Brown, that should be named Battle of the Vicious Elbows. Okay. Which fight did you watch live and it felt very sad for the fighter that lost? Tony Ferguson, Jose Aldo, Anderson Silva versus Chris Weidman too. Who would you pick between Ferguson and Matt Brown? Definitely Ferguson. Matt Brown is far, far, far past his prime. Ferguson is still very, very good. Do you think Justin would have beat Conor if they fought instead of Conor fighting Cowboy? I think you meant. Probably. I probably would have picked Justin. But it would have been interesting. Joey, if John beats Stipe, I wouldn't be surprised because he beat 40-year-old Stipe. I feel like the UFC should make John versus Gon. Well, Gon has a fight against Tai Tuivasa. But, I'm dying to see Jones versus Ngannou is what I want to say. Would you like to see the UFC add the super lightweight division Personally, that would make things. No, I'm not. I'm not down with that. I don't like the thought of adding extra divisions. Conor had the chance to step in versus Tony, but said he wasn't a backup fighter. He just didn't want the fight. I mean, it would have been still a great fight. It would have been highly promotable. It would have been massive. Being where Tony is at his career, how does that fight look now? I think it's a massive mistake. I think Conor would have blown up. Could you imagine? And if Conor would have stepped in and beat Tony, we would have got Conor Habib too. So he missed his opportunity to ever avenge that loss. How does Chito do against top 5 bantamweights? How does Chito do against top 5 bantamweights? I think he loses. He is number 5. I think he loses to Sandhagen. I think he loses to Aldo. I think he loses to everyone above him. He loses to everybody that's currently above him in the rankings. Sorry to say, I'm a Chito fan. Don't hold it against me. But he loses to all of them. Tim Means has a chance against Holland with his wrestling. I guess, but I think Holland will probably outstrike him. Joey, how do you feel about Cody Garbrandt versus Adrian Yanez? I'd have no desire to see that. Cody Garbrandt has a fight against Ronnie Yaya, and Adrian Yanez is making his way up, and Cody Garbrandt is trying to make a career resurgence right now. I wouldn't mind Justin versus Conor now. That's the thing. Conor's got a bunch of fights he can come back to. Right now, he could fight Chandler. He could fight Justin. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be very telling by the fight that he picks on the return. I'm not sure about you, but I'd much rather see Gane versus Jones. A Stalikin matchup would be badass to watch. I would love it. I would love it for sure. I watched your video about Joanna versus Whaley. I just think Joanna will get wrecked. That was a bad beating she took the last time. In the first few minutes, though, of the fight, she was landing very good. It was just a power differential. So if she can avoid getting hit, she could still win. But you might be right. Maybe she gets stopped. What's your prediction for the fight? How does it end? How does it end, my friend? If John comes in and beats Stipe, then Francis, yes. For sure. For sure. I think Ferguson can beat Conor McGregor. I think that's a 50-50 fight. Do you like the Cruz-Chito matchup? Yes, I do like the Cruz-Chito matchup. It's a very compelling matchup. I think Rockhold versus Costa is a good proof that Costa is scared of everyone in that division. He should go down to welterweight. He can't go down to welterweight. And how is he scared by fighting Rockhold? Rockhold could be a tough matchup. So I don't know what specifically you are referring to about scared. And he just fought Marvin Vettori. So I don't know what you mean, my friend. Sterling versus Ortega. Who wins? Ortega. I want to see Brian T. City versus Bryce Mitchell. That's a fight that I've been calling for since Bryce Mitchell's last fight. I would love it. If Jorge versus Conor did happen, how long would it last in your opinion? I have 2 rounds. I'll say 2 rounds. Someone gets finished by the second round. Conor can fight Ferguson as well, but he probably won't. I don't know. That's looking like his most winnable fight right now, so he might. This Long Island card looking kind of nice. I agree. Do you think Khalil Roundtree deserves a top light heavyweight next? Maybe like close to the top 15. I don't know. Definitely not top 10 yet. No. Conor probably fights Nate Diaz again for his rematch. That's what I was thinking, the trilogy. Conor versus Oliveira? No, stop. Could Vicente Luque ever get a title shot? Maybe, but he's not going to win. I mean, he's going to get out-grappled. We've seen what happened to him in the Bilal fight. I heard that Habib and Tony are going to be tough coaches. No, that's not true. It's rumored. It's a rumor. They've talked about it. It might happen, but it's nowhere even close to confirmed. Who would Jiri fight if he loses to Glover? That's a good question. Maybe the loser of Anthony Smith versus Magomed Ankalaev. I could see that happening. I think Conor versus Justin is an exciting matchup, especially in striking points. But Justin's leg kicks are very bad for Conor. Yes. Yes, very bad. He would wreck that lead leg of Conor. Conor's always been susceptible to leg kicks. It's just nobody he's fought has ever taken advantage of it outside of Dustin. Dustin was really chopping that leg in both fights. Conor was throwing heavy leg kicks in the second fight too. Are there fighters that you randomly dislike minus Ryan Spann? Probably, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. There's none off the top of my head that I can think of, but there probably is. Next time I think of it, I'll let you know in the Discord. Why is it that most people think great striking is more appealing than great grappling? Maybe people don't see that it's more technical or sometimes more dangerous. I don't know. I guess because every fight starts standing. That's probably why. That would be my guess. Who do you think will win between Moreno and Kara France 2? I got Moreno. How does Prime Aldo do against top featherweights? I think he could win all of them. I think he can beat everyone. Is the pay-per-view at a normal time? I believe it is. I believe it's normal. Let me just check real quick. Just out of curiosity, I would like to know. Let's take a look. Why is it not taking me to the event? Yeah, it's a regular time. 10 o'clock main card. 10 o'clock main card. 8 o'clock prelims. I can't wait for Andre Filho versus Jake Matthews. And 6:30 p.m. early prelims. So there you go. Khalil Roundtree is one of the least well-rounded fighters in the UFC. Okay. If Holloway loses to Volk, what's next for him if Volk doesn't move up? I don't know. I really don't. I mean, he's going to be stuck in a shitty spot. He's lost 3 times to the champion. 3 times to the champ? What's up, Anthony, man? Back watching the stream at Amazon. Walking around with your AirPods in or your earphones in, whatever you want to call them. And listening to the stream. Shout out Anthony Martinez. Working your ass off at Amazon, man. I hope they're paying you well. What's the biggest money fight in every division? Biggest money fight in every division? I don't know if there is a money fight in every division, my friend. I'll just pick out some. Biggest fight they can make at bantamweight. Sean O'Malley versus T.J. Dillashaw for the title. Featherweight. I don't know if there is a big fight there. I think Volk Max is the biggest fight they can make. Lightweight, Charles Islam. Welterweight, Hamzat Usman. Middleweight, Adesanya Pereira. Light heavyweight, probably Jiri as champion versus maybe Magomed Ankalaev. Heavyweight, Francis Jones. There you go. There's a few. I hope that gave you enough answers there. Who is the hardest hitting fighter in each division? Jeez Louise. Kai Kara. Marlon Vera. No, Song Yadong. Kai Kara, Song Yadong. Volkanovski or Josh Emmett. Michael Chandler. Kamaru Usman. Robert Whitaker. Jan Blachowicz. Francis Ngannou. There's all the men's divisions for you. What current champion could you see retire if they lost? Obviously, other than the Glover, because okay. Other than Glover, Usman. If Usman loses, just let him retire. Let him retire. But Glover as well. Nunes as well. If Nunes loses to Pena again, just let her retire. I love the 6:30 p.m. early prelims. Yeah, wasn't it you that were saying you were going to miss some of the fights this Saturday? Or was it somebody else? I can't remember now. Let me know beside you. But yeah, sometimes I miss some of them because I got a lot of stuff to do on the weekends usually. And I'm trying to get better at making sure I watch every single fight, because then sometimes if something important happens or there's a notable guy, I got to go back and rewatch. And it's not as fun if you don't get to watch it live. Who was more entertaining to watch, Chris Montino or Greg Hardy? I didn't find Greg Hardy exciting at all, so I'll say Chris Montino. Guy's not even in the UFC anymore. That is wild. I'd say Manuel Kopp hit harder than Kai Kara. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. We're about to be an hour into the stream. Let's talk about some of the stuff that's in the title. I know I already have the videos that we went through, blah, 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 this and that. But UFC 275 predictions, I am going Jiri Procházka by first round, brutal KO. Valentina Shevchenko versus Talia Santos. I'm going Talia Santos via first round, brutal. I'm kidding. I'm going Valentina Shevchenko by decision. And Weili Zhang versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk 2. I'm going Weili Zhang by decision. I think Weili Zhang just has too much power. I think the power differential is what matters. Joanna's been inactive for a while. She's going to have ring rust. She's going to be slower. Weili has gotten a lot better over the past couple years. You know, and there's a lot of skills to be learned while you're training for a fight versus when you're out of camp. Maybe you're training here and there, but you're just not training as much and you're not preparing for a fight. Joanna's been out for 2 years. It's going to have an effect. As far as Valentina versus Talia Santos, I think Talia Santos is a decent contender. But Valentina's just better everywhere. So Valentina wins. I think Talia Santos is tough enough where she'll be able to survive the fight and win. And as far as Glover Jiri, and again, I want you guys to go watch the full breakdown and prediction videos as well. But as far as Jiri Glover, I just think Yuri's going to avoid the positions where Glover gets in on takedowns. He's gonna use his footwork. He's gonna have a super wide base. I think he's gonna get in and out very quickly by still pressuring. And I think Glover's just too slow, too old, and I think Jiri finishes him in the first round by brutal KO. But if Glover is able to drag him to the ground, Glover is going to beat the brakes off of him. If Glover cements a position, Jiri is not getting up. And what I mean by that, if Glover's going for a takedown, Yuri's still trying to scramble, he can possibly get out of it. But if Glover gets him down and controls the position for 2 seconds, it's probably done. He's going to beat the piss out of him and then look for a rear naked choke. So there's my predictions for UFC 275. I also have Sterling versus Dillashaw in here. It looks like that's going to happen possibly in September, maybe August. I'm looking forward to that fight, but I don't think TJ necessarily deserves the title shot. He's a cheater, and also his last fight, I thought he lost the last fight to Corey Sandhagen. So there you go. There I talked about the stuff that's in the title. I wanted to make sure I do that. After watching Embedded, I'm convinced Weili will TKO Joanna. Weili is cut up, too. I saw a picture of her in Singapore. She is cut up. Joey, do you think UFC is going to make Conor Jorge? I don't think they are because the UFC's 2 biggest attractions and they can knock each other off. And I don't think they make it. What do you believe would happen if Tony Ferguson didn't get knocked out that second? I think Tony Ferguson would have finished Chandler. Sad. I said I missed last week's fight, but no, I'm all in for 275. I'm glad to hear, man. Glad to hear. Who do you pick a fighter who is great in dominating in one style and well-rounded, but not dominant in another style? I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe Sean Brady doesn't have the best striking, but he has really good grappling. I don't know. I like the Jake Matthews and Andre fight on the prelims. The prelims opener. You get your ears lower, buddy, looking like a clean cut. Thank you. You like that? You like them? Look at that. Yeah. I remember watching 269 with all my friends now, and we're already halfway through the year. Crazy. I know, Tyler. I know. Were you here at the beginning of the stream? I said something very similar. I remember the beginning of this year, there was a 3-week lull with no MMA action, no UFC action in particular, but really nothing going on. And I remember, what are we going to do for this 3 weeks, blah, blah, blah. And now it's already June. We're almost to International Fight Week already. That's crazy. So, should Jiri run at Glover same as how Francis ran at Jairzinho? No. I think that'd be a bad move. The Andre guy at 170 is a killer. I expect him to do some brutal things to Jake Matthews. We will see. We will see. Where does Robert Whittaker go if he was to lose to Vettori? I don't know. Maybe try to make a run at 170. So many people keep saying Glover will win, and I don't understand how they came up with that. Do you know what they're referring to? If Glover gets him down and controls him, it's over. It is over. That's what they're referring to. Glover has elite level jiu-jitsu, decent wrestling, and amazing top game in general. Andre Filio versus Jake Matthews should open the main card, not the two nobodies they got now. I guess so. Where does Whittaker go if he beats Marvin? Just hope that Izzy loses the belt. Because he's not getting a third shot for a while. What do you consider a knockdown on the official stat sheet? For instance, Khabib's massive hit wasn't considered a knockdown. Neither was Tony's hit on Chandler that knocked him down. I don't know. Any shot that makes you drop to a knee that wasn't a stumble, I would say. It's hard to define that. Something crazy is going to happen on Saturday, I have a feeling. Wouldn't surprise me. Seems like every event we get at least something pretty crazy, wouldn't you say? Joey, what if Max wins the trilogy? Where does the UFC go from there? That's going to be a tricky spot. It depends how how the fight goes. Because if it's another razor close fight, they might have to give Volk another shot, honestly. Might have to give Volk another shot, to be quite honest. But only time will tell. We're going to get to it. We're only a month away. It's a month away from now. It's early July. First week of July, we are getting UFC 276. I'm pumped for UFC 276, but I'm already dreading. It's going to be a lot of work. I got to do 9 prediction videos. Something like that. Insanity. Absolute insanity. Let's say Khabib randomly came out of retirement and Khabib versus Conor 2 happens. No, it didn't do 2 million pay-per-views. The first one did not do 2.4. It must have did 1.4 maybe. It would do big. It would do over 1 million buys. I'll say 1.5 million. 1.6 million. Something crazy. Something crazy. Something crazy. Let me just check something out real quick. Are Khabib and Glover similar style? I kind of. Khabib's entries and takedowns are much better. And ground and pound is better. Who's the best leg kicker in the UFC? Maybe Gaethje, probably Gaethje. Who has a better chance to win the third fight versus the champ, Holloway or Colby? Holloway. Joey, I think we have a potential rematch on our hands. TJ versus Cruz too. If TJ wins the belt and Cruz beats Cheeto, who do you got? I got EPO Shaw. I'd probably pick Dillashaw as well. No, I don't think it did over 2 million. Let me look that. Let me try to look that up. UFC 229 buy rate. Because the numbers were coming out at that time. No way. It is saying 2.2 from some website. Reported 2.4. Holy crap. I did not know that it did that big. I forgot. But at the same time, I don't trust Dana. So Dana's the one leaking those numbers. So it definitely did well. But I don't know if it did that big. I don't ever trust those numbers. But you're right. That's what was leaked. That's what was leaked or reported. You are right. RB already answered that. What makes you say it did 1.4 buys? That fight was huge. It was everywhere. No, I didn't. I just tried going off memory. I didn't remember. It was so long ago. I know everyone was talking about it. Yeah, but also I'm not saying it didn't do this, but I'm also saying you have to consider the source. Dana White's the one saying that. He's going to promote his company. But it definitely did good. I did not remember it did over 2 million buys though. What got you into MMA? I always kind of wanted to watch, and then I kind of started casually watching. And then what really hooked me was I ordered Chael Sonnen and Anderson Silva 1. Chael Sonnen beat him up for 4.5 rounds, then locked up a triangle choke. I was hooked ever since. I mean, to see that happen was insanity. Was absolute insanity. Guys, keep the questions coming. Keep the questions coming. I would greatly appreciate it. Hold on, hold on, hold on. What was I going to see? There was something I wanted to see, and now I forgot. I was checking something. Do you think Cody has a third chance at beating TJ if he saves his career? I doubt it. I think the chin is just too much of a liability. If he can protect that chin, yes, but I don't think he can. Dana probably rounds each one of the nearest 100K. He doesn't even realize the pay-per-view cards like 271, 270 because they're low. Yeah, exactly. But still. What number bottle are you just sitting on the chair? 2. I'm on number 2. This one, when I brought it up, was only half full, though. But I usually have 3 sitting nearby because you don't realize your mouth gets dry as hell talking constantly. Constantly. So I have this. I have half this bottle left. And then I have this full bottle left right here. There you go. The water bottle guy. Your mouth gets dry. I don't know how people stream and don't take a drink. But no problem if it's a bit off topic. Yo, what's up, Joey? How was your day? It was good. How was yours, Antoine? I hope it was good as well. It's beautiful weather here today, not too hot. How far would Cody have gone if he fought smarter and had a better chin? He would have finished. He would have beat TJ the first time, and there would have been no rematch. He would have had a couple title defenses before he ran into Piotr Jan and lost. I think Mavsar can reach the title after his last fight because he's a big deal prospect. I never thought he'd be in the top 5. I agree. Did you see Dana liked Ferguson and Habib? Yeah, but he's not going to pay them both to be on the show. I guarantee it. It's not going to happen probably. You know, they're not going to want to pay them because they have to compensate them for being on the show. If Cody didn't fight with emotion versus TJ, he would still be champion today. Not today, but he would have won that fight. If Cody loses to Ronnie Yaya, he should definitely retire. 100%. It's my 23rd birthday today, so it's all right. Good to hear. Happy birthday, Antoine. I hope you're doing well, man. Everybody in the chat, wish Antoine a happy birthday. Come on, all 32 people in here. Wish him a happy birthday. True, Dana needs to pinch those pennies. Yeah, that's why a lot of fights don't happen because they don't want to pay certain guys. They don't want to pay them any money. That's why. That's why. Let me just check something out real quick. Guys, by the way, we are 6 subscribers away from 4,000 subscribers. So, come on, guys. Let's get... I think I just misspoke. We are 6 subscribers away from 3,500 subscribers. So, subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 3,500. And then next thing you know, we're going to be at 4,000. I would love to hit 4,000 before the end of the month. That's the goal. That's a big, lofty goal, but I think it's very possible. We gained roughly, I think, 1,000 subscribers in the past month. Let's see where we were at a month ago. Yeah, we gained roughly 450 subscribers since last month. Let's see exactly where we're at. We're at June 8th, so May 8th. Let's see where we were at May 8th. Holy crap. May 8th, So we've gained about 525 subscribers since May 8th. So I think we can do that again, maybe a little bit faster, and hit 4,000 before the end of the month. Up Life said, oh, geez, Louise, now we got so many messages. Yeah, everybody wish Antoine a happy birthday. Where are you located? You want my exact address or what? Hold on one second. But Baltimore, Maryland, to answer your question. Early live, no MMA channel posting content like you. Thank you, Gage. Thank you, man. I do a Wednesday stream every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. How do you think Francis Ngannou, how likely do you, I think it's 50-50. I think he returns, though. Joe, who do you think Uriah Hall had a better chance of beating Cruz? Uriah. Cruz or TJ, because Cruz was rumored. Uriah would never beat either of them, but a better chance, probably Cruz. Happy birthday, Antoine. How much does UFC profit from each event? Like, what do they think they profit? A lot. Hundreds of millions of dollars from each event, probably. Because they don't even care about the pay-per-view buys. ESPN takes all the money from the pay-per-view buys. ESPN pays the UFC a flat rate. I don't know if it's just me. I thought Cruz versus Cody performance was overrated. Okay. Happy birthday, gang. Thank you so much. Happy birthday. What do you think about Shields training at Fight Ready with Henry? Who? Jake Shields? Or no, Claressa Shields. I don't care. I think Henry's a little bit overrated as a coach anyway. Lamau, do you see Dana Q&A with Lauren Sanka? The guy said he has made every dream fight the fans have ever wanted except... Well, he's full of shit then. I can think about a million fights he ain't make. Tyron Woodley downfall is one of the saddest ever, from being a dominant champ when he got in MMA to losing to thou who shall not be named out of every people. What's up, Torin? What did you say was your pick for fight of the night at 2? Gotta be the main event. Gotta be the main event. It has to be the main event. Do you watch every fight on the card? 50-50. A lot of times I miss the early prelims. But I try to go back and watch if something notable happened. But I'm trying to get better at that. I'm trying to make sure I watch every single fight. But I got a lot of stuff I have to try to do on the weekends, so sometimes it just ain't feasible for me. Especially like last weekend when the fight started at like 12 o'clock. So I'm going to get better at that this year. I'm hopeful. We'll see. But you never know. You never know. Lock of the night, Valentina. Fight of the night, Glover Jiri. People's main event, Whaley, Joanna 2. I like all those, VT. I think all those are damn good. Damn good guesses. I know the middleweight is very dry, but I've got to say, looking at heavyweight rankings, 5 to 15 is very, very dry. Yeah, heavyweight has been the worst division in the UFC for a long time. It's starting to get a little bit better, but still, it's not that great, you know? You really have Ngannou, Cyril. Because Jones hasn't fought a heavyweight yet. You know, you got Ngannou, Cyril, and Tom Aspinall. You know? Because Stipe's on his way out. I mean, he's got a couple fights left. He's on his way out. I mean, Derek Lewis, he's never making a title run. Volkov never making a title run. Rosenstrike never making a title run. Chris Daukaus not making a title run. Marcin Tybura. I mean, right now I care about Francis Ngannou, Cyril Gane, Tom Aspinall, and John Jones, and I guess tied to Avasa. So really, outside of those 5 fighters at heavyweight, it's just awful. If you could make any matchup in any division of current fighters, what would it be? I actually have a video of top 5 fights I want the UFC to make, but it'd be Ngannou, Jones, and Oliveira, Islam. Don't forget Bam Bam. I did not. I mentioned him then. I did forget him first, though. Joe, UFC 275 is on my B-Day. What fight are you most excited for? Mine has to be Whaley versus Joanna. Is it 5 rounds? Unfortunately, it is not 5 rounds. But happy early birthday. Actually, heavyweight is looking the best it's been in a while. Yes, but that doesn't mean it's still not bad, though. I remember when people would talk down men's flyweight. Now look at it. Yeah, it looks men's flyweight is looking really good right now. It's maturing quite well. Has there been a fighter that you were wrong about in terms of becoming champ, for example? I don't remember off the top of my head. Curtis Blades, he's not making a title run. Does Nate versus Hamzat go the full distance? No. Doctor stoppage, Hamzat wins. Joe, what's your favorite fight in UFC 277? Mine's the main event. UFC 277 co-main event. Brandon Moreno, Kai Kara France. Yep, that's it. Co-main event. Apparently, Karolina Kowalkiewicz planned on retiring if she lost on Saturday. Dana White shoots down Nick Diaz versus Kamaru Usman. I don't want to see Nick get hurt. Oh, a boxer apparently died. That is not good. Punching air. What is this about? What happened here? What happened here? I'm watching a video right now. This is on MMA Fighting. What is going on here? This guy died. Jeez, he's off in a corner, just staring in a corner. What happened? He started marching down the ref. What happened here? What is going on? That's so sad. They called for an immediate stoppage. I did not hear about this. Jeez Louise. Simiso. I can't pronounce his last name. Very scary. 10th and final round. Falls through the ropes, but appears to lose his understanding of the present situation. The referee immediately called for a stoppage, resulting in a 10-round TKO victory. Was placed in an induced coma. It was with great sadness from Boxing South Africa family to announce the passing, who passed away last night, June 7th, 2022. On June 5th, 2022, participated in the boxing tournament. Towards the end of the bout, collapsed and was taken to the hospital. It was discovered at the hospital that he suffered a brain injury, which resulted in internal bleeding. At the hospital, Mr. Blah 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 was given the best care possible. However, he could succumb to the injury last night. Jeez Louise, this is depressing. There wasn't anything untoward in the fight or training. He was leading the fight on points. What sucks is, too, they took the belt away from him in the fight. Yeah, no, that ruined my day. That ruined my day. That's a very, very sad story. Very, very sad. Yep. Has there ever been a non-co or non-main event 5-rounder? Yes, there has. Nick Diaz, Robbie Lawler, Nate Diaz, Leon Edwards. Do you think Alexander Volkanovski, if Henry Cejudo is going to make a comeback? That's not really a question. But no, I don't want to see that fight. I'm not excited whatsoever for 275. I'm sorry for you. Yeah, that video was really sad. It's crazy how they just made Lawler Diaz 2 a 5-rounder, but not Joanna. Yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying as hell. I think Dana could get some real good women's featherweight division going for the UFC. He tried to find talent. I don't know. It was like a video game glitch. Sad story. Boxer from South Africa. What fight are you most excited for on 276? Volkanovski, Holloway 3. No, he died after the fact. If Habib and Tony coach tough, what weight class would you like to see them coach? I never really thought about that. I guess like welterweight. I don't know, lightweight. Where's the video? It's not, nobody's dying in the video. Come on, bro. It's just on MMA fighting. That's why boxing is much more dangerous. I don't know about that, but no days later. Joey, do you think Figgy versus Moreno can be the biggest flyweight fight in UFC history because they're already connected forever because they had great back-to-back fights. They had great back-to-back-to-back fights, my friend. Yes. Damn, dude. Ref did the right thing, though. I haven't seen the fight, though. I don't know if he was taking the beating. Apparently, he was winning. That's really sad, though. Are you watching Tough 30? No. It makes me sad how these fighters literally would die for entertainment. It's very sad, yeah. Who would you really have in Volkanovski versus Cejudo? Volkanovski would beat the brakes off Cejudo and stop him. Volk versus Charles at 55. Who do you got? I'll take Charles, but that fight could go either way. I got to ride with Volk. Okay. Yeah, it could go either way. Could go either way for sure. Whew, that actually kind of ruined my day seeing that news on MMA fighting. I don't even know why they're covering that. I mean, I guess okay. Sean, okay, Manuel Cop, ungrateful Davison Figueiredo, and explains USADA testing issue. What's the USADA testing issue? Let's see. Trace amounts of a long-term of an antibiotic steroid, better known as M3 metabolite in Turbinol. The M3 metabolite was famously involved in another. I didn't know what happened, Cape explained. I believe that it was supplement. I had been taking the pre-workout supplement. I've been taking all fight camps and never got popped. I know this is a pre-workout, was not certified by USADA, but I never think that can give me some positive test. But the UFC allowed me to fight. USADA allowed me to fight. Just the Nevada Athletic Commission not allowed me to fight. But they said levels were very well. I didn't cheat or anything. I'm 100% true on that. So that's weird. So he had a tainted supplement in his body, and they were letting him fight anyway? What's going on there? Despite USADA rules that will not punish any athlete testing positive for under 100 picograms per milliliter threshold for M3 metabolite, the Nevada Athletic Commission does not maintain the same regulations. While Kopp was under that limit, he was not cleared, and he was cleared by USADA and allowed to compete at 275. The Nevada Commission forced him to undergo an additional 6 months testing before granting him a license in the state. Nevada doesn't know what they're doing anyway. Okay. Couple more questions, guys. A few more questions, and then we're going to get out of here. Respect to anyone who steps in the ring or cage. Super dangerous. You never know what can happen. I agree. Just because he survived Ortega, you know? Okay, fair enough. Where would Chad Mendes be right now if he stayed with the UFC? Some people don't know he almost finished Volk. Did he almost finish Volk? I think that might be a bit of an exaggeration. Who's juicing? I don't know. Do you think Volkanovski can become the greatest featherweight of all time at 276? Yes. Yes, he can. Rafael Sunsao versus Paiva. Who wins? Rafael Sunsao. I think 276 press conference will be bananas. I hope so. I hope we get Izzy, Cannonier, Sean Strickland, Pajeda, Volk, Max, all Sean O'Malley, Munoz, all in the same cage. That was so shady. All you need is a good doctor who can time the dosages up to be under 100 picograms near fight time. Yeah, but they're randomly tested all the time, supposedly. So, how does Movsar versus Ortega play out? How does Movsar versus Ortega play out? Probably Ortega by submission. Some of both. A little bit of both. I don't know. Caceres. Billy, who do you got? I will take Caceres. Joey, the fight the UFC needs to make is Giga versus TKZ. I would like that fight. Which fighters currently can you name at the top off your head that are on PEDs and steroids? I have no idea. I have no clue. It wouldn't shock me if everyone is on them. It wouldn't shock me, with anyone potentially being on them. Okay, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Don't forget to like the stream. We do this weekly live chat every single Wednesday. I'll be back on Friday doing a live stream, like a pre-fight for 275. I mean, we've already beat 275 to death, but we're going to continue to talk all the latest news. UFC 275 fight week. I'll be back Friday night, probably around 8 p.m., I would say, 8 or 9 p.m. on Friday night. And also, don't forget, Saturday night, immediately following the fights, we will be doing a post-fight. I love all this anticipation, all these predictions, all this and that. I can't wait to see what the actual results are. Don't forget to like the stream before you go. Make sure you go watch the prediction videos that I have out for the main, co-main, and featured fight on the main card. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not. And I will see you guys on Friday. Enjoy the rest of your night.